Hello and welcome back once again to Viper Bites. And we are going to continue the offseason tour through both free agency and the trade market here right now. And we have got another big move that took place a little bit earlier here in the NFL offseason, in the 2022 NFL calendar year. And that was the signing of Von Miller by the Buffalo Bills. Now, look, the now 33-year-old Von Miller signed a 6-year, $120 million deal with $51.5 million guaranteed, including $45 million fully guaranteed at the signing. Yes, Von Miller, he got paid. Now, Von Miller, 2022-2023 cap hits are as followed: $5.15 million, and then the big $18.7 million in 2023. If Von Miller's play slips, the Bills find themselves battling a salary cap issue here and there. Don't worry, they can still cut Von Miller in 2025 and only eat $7.4 million in dead cap, or wait until 2026 when that dead cap comes in at about $3.7 million. So there is a little bit of flexibility. And let's be honest, the 33-year-old Von Miller, he ain't playing all 6 years. He ain't playing until 39. Let's be honest here. He may get 3-4 years out of the deal, and that's where the Bills kind of give themselves a little bit of leniency there, a little bit of leeway to cut Von Miller and save themselves some cap moving forward. Besides the Bills, you knew the Rams, they were involved in Von Miller. And when that fell through, that's probably when the Rams turned their attention to Bobby Wagner. Now, a return to Denver was not entirely out of the question. So Von Miller, we heard the LA Rams there. We heard the Denver Broncos, but really the Buffalo Bills put a very low-key full court press on Von Miller. They hit him up with his dad. I think his dad and Josh Allen, they must have hung out in Wyoming or something, because there was a tight bond between the father of Von Miller and the franchise quarterback in Buffalo, Josh Allen. Now, the Bills, what did this do for the Bills? This is one of the best defenses in the National Football League, but they did have a weakness there, a little bit of an underbelly to that defense, and that was a bit of that run defense. Now, one of the more underrated components of Von Miller's game is his ability to stop the run. He's never earned a run grade below 80 at any point in his career. And over the last 2 seasons, Buffalo's run defense grade, 45.2, and that ranks 23rd in the National Football League. So if they clean that run defense up, look how this defense can go next level. They're already right there, the top 5 in the National Football League. We know the Rams defense, they're good. This Buffalo defense is going to be neck and neck all season long. Now, when we look at the sack masters in the National Football League, we go through the whole 2010s kind of era there. Von Miller sits atop all by himself. Now, during 9.5 seasons with the Broncos, remember he was traded halfway through last season to the Rams, Von Miller became the number 1 active player with the most sacks, racking up 110.5 sacks in 142 regular season contests. Now, looking back at 2021 for the Rams, for the Broncos, Miller finished with 30 solo tackles, 9 sacks. Miller recorded 5 sacks for the Rams in 8 regular season contests, ranking 12th in ESPN's pass rush win rate metric at 20.9%. But his biggest impact, that was saved for when Von Miller steps it up the most, and that is in the playoffs, and more notably in the Super Bowl. Now, during that playoff run, during that Super Bowl run, Von Miller, 4 games, he registered 12 solo tackles and 4 sacks, with 2 of those coming against Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals in that Super Bowl game. Miller's postseason pass rush win rate, 41.5%, was by far the highest by a player in a single postseason with a minimum of 30 rushing attempts there. Since ESPN started tracking this metric way back in 2015, he and teammate Aaron Donald, not only were they getting the quarterback, but they were pressuring quarterbacks all throughout the playoffs here. In those 4 playoff games, they each had 18 quarterback pressures. Now, we talked about what Von Miller can do as a pass rusher. In 10 NFL seasons with the Broncos and the Rams, Von Miller has racked up 413 solo tackles. Now, for a rush defender, that is pretty impressive. Now, you also throw in 127 assists, 115.5 sacks, 9 fumble recoveries, and 2 interceptions. Von Miller was getting the job done in every aspect of the game on the defensive side of the ball. Now, he also was selected to play in 8 Pro Bowls. He has won the Defensive Rookie of the Year award. He's got Super Bowl MVP, and he's got those 2 Super Bowl trophies backing him up. He's got some rings, got some bling, and now he's got paid for all that. Miller immediately right now becomes the best pass rusher on this Bills roster, despite the team significantly investing in the pass rush through the draft the last couple seasons. Boogie Basham, AJ Espinosa, there are a couple of names that come to my mind. They haven't panned out. We've watched them use 2 second-round picks and 1 first-round selection the last 2 seasons to try and address this. You know what they said? Billy Bean, hey, you know what? I'm just going to get myself a Von Miller, and we're going to not worry about the draft here because we obviously are not hitting on these pass rushers right now. Von Miller, he's going to hit on that. Buffalo had not had a player finish with 10 or more sacks since way back in 2016. And that man, Lorenzo Alexander, Bills Mafia, stand up. You know who I'm talking about. Mario Addison last year was the Bills defender that had 5+ sacks. He finished with 7. The Bills were one of only 4 teams that had 1 or fewer players with 5+ sacks. Those other teams there that were futile in their abilities to get to the quarterback, the Houston Texans, the Atlanta Falcons, the Kansas City Chiefs, and of course, the Buffalo Bills. Mario Addison, you were the guy, 7 sacks, not going to get the job done. Now, despite not getting to the quarterback, the Bills' defense was the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL, allowing just 289 points all season long. That group that we mentioned here, that we're going to talk about a little bit in depth with, they were first in yards allowed with 4,637 and third in turnovers with 30 this season. The defense, the 42 sacks, that tied for 11th in the league. The 34-year-old Mario Addison that we mentioned earlier, his 7 sacks, that led the team. Outside of Mario Addison, I said there wasn't another player on the Bills who got 5+ sacks. Gregory Rousseau, he was second on the team with just 4. Looking at this Bills depth chart, I mean, along with the Miller additions, they addressed some of that run defense there. Daquan Jones, Tim Settle, they come over to join Ed Oliver there at defensive tackle. As for the edge rushers, you got Rousseau there, you got Espinosa, you got Boogie Basham, and you got Von Miller kind of taking that jump. Can Boogie Basham, can he take that second-year jump? Can third-year player AJ Espinosa live up to the expectations coming out of Iowa that everyone had of him? We will see. But Von Miller, he should help elevate all those pass rushers and bring them to the next level here. Now, in the middle, you got Matt Milano. He's coming back. Tremaine Edmonds, he's coming back. Both return along with Pro Bowlers Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, Tre'Davious White. Those guys are all there. White's coming back from that injury. And you had some help there. Dane Jackson, Teron Johnson. These guys are all back. This Bills secondary should be good. The back end is as good as any. If they can get that front end to get a little bit of pressure a la Von Miller now, this team is going to be a problem. Buffalo managed to produce a top-ranked defense. A top-ranked defense despite not having a bona fide pass rusher. A dominant pass rusher now they have. And hey, there's more reasons than that. Not only do you get to the quarterback, not only do you get an opportunity to get to the Super Bowl, the Bills, they also want a new stadium at some point. And the best way to do that is to get yourself load up on that star power and win yourself some rings. No other player in the Super Bowl era has ever won Super Bowl rings with 3 different teams. And you have to like Von Miller's chances of doing so with the Bills. They are one of the favorites to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. We know that AFC, that's improved all across the board. There's about 12 different teams that can make a case for the playoffs in 2022. In fact, the division, the AFC East has improved. We know with the Patriots, they came a little bit sooner than we were expecting here last year with Mac Jones leading the way. We know the Miami Dolphins, they've gone out in free agency and added some big players like Tyreek Hill. Things are going to get interesting in the AFC East, in the AFC in general. It's going to be a dogfight to see who gets there, but I think the Bills, they're going to be circling those wagons. And I'll tell you this right now, if you are looking to invest in anything in the 2022 season, invest in 6-foot plastic tables because there will be a shortage in the New York area because I guarantee you there are going to be bodies going through tables at some point in this season heading into the playoffs. And speaking of heading into the playoffs, if you want to make those fantasy playoffs in your leagues right now, head to fantasypoints.com, enter promo code VIPERS22, and get that subscription right now. One of the best bang for your bucks out there. And if you've liked this video, give us a good old-fashioned thumbs up, hit that subscribe, turn on those notifications because we are talking every trade, every big-time signing. We are going to bring it to you here, right now. Do not miss out. And we will be back when more news is going to break. See you soon.